Hi everyone. I'm so excited that you joined me for this season on how to land a job in tech without being a techie. What you will learn, how you gain access to client-facing roles in tech without any prerequisites in either of these roles. We'll mainly focus on customer success and after sales, but you will also gain benefits if you're interested in sales, account management, or maybe even pre-sales. So let's get started. My name is Friederike Falke, and with my company at Falke, I help you to have a fulfilling career. Do you want to have a fulfilling career in tech? Do you want to boost your career in customer success? Or do you want to get inspiration and motivation for your career development? Then you're at the right place. With F. Falke, I share insights, tips and tricks, do Q&A sessions and more for you to have a fulfilling career. In this episode, I will share 3 things. Why getting a career in tech and what are the benefits of it? Who is right for a career in tech? And what we will cover in the next and following episodes of this season of how to land a job in tech. Have you ever wondered about a job in tech? Read about these lucrative careers at Google, Microsoft, or fancy startup and wondered, how do they do that? How does it work? Maybe you're a project manager, a bartender, a researcher, a management consultant. But the whole tech world seems kind of out of tune for you. You have to code, you have to program, and there are all these words that don't make sense to me. HTTPS, APIs, cloud, IT. I don't want to deal with that stuff. But still, I'm kind of interested in the tech world. Does this sound familiar to you? I can assure you, would you have asked me about tech a couple of years ago? I wouldn't have any kind of clue. I had no idea about these topics, and I still don't have today. But during that time, I had no clue that these tech careers even existed. I was a project manager. I started being a researcher. I tried different jobs, but nothing really worked. And then at one point, I got access to a tech career in customer success at a startup. And what never really felt fulfilling beforehand, having a job, at one point just felt fulfilling, and I really loved it. That's when I realized I don't need to be a techie to work in tech. I don't need to have all these fancy programming skills and else to work in tech, and still can have a career that is fulfilling, tick all the boxes, and is great by and in itself, but also for its future potential. HTTP, API, cloud, these are fancy words, and they may be helpful later on in your career in tech, but to land a job in tech, you don't need them. You need completely different skills. And that's what I realized. There are basically 3 main things that you need to be successful in a client-facing role, especially customer success, but also sales or account management. First, you need the right mindset, how you think, how you put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Secondly, you need the right soft skills, how to build relationships, how to deal with clients that have an issue, how to do time management. And thirdly, you need the right toolbox, how to do business reviews, how to do success planning. So these are the 3 things that you need to be successful in a role in tech, like customer success, like sales or account management. The right mindset, the right skill set, and the right toolbox. So let's have a look at the right mindset and the right skill set. As I already said, you don't need to be a techie to work in tech. In these jobs, mindset and skill set are relevant, and these are mainly transferable skills. You can take them from the jobs that you're already doing now and transfer them to a career in customer success, sales, or account management. So let me give you an example. Let's imagine you work as a teacher at the moment. As a teacher, you work with students, you work with pupils, you work with parents. You have to make sure that they gain a knowledge and they get educated. How you do this? You develop training plans, training curriculums. This is something that you also do with your clients. Especially in customer onboarding, for example, you develop very complex success plans to make sure that your customers learn all about the product that you're working with. This is something you do as a teacher in a different context, and you can move these skills to the customer success context and the tech world. Or let's take another example. Let's imagine you're a project manager. You're dealing with various projects and various internal and external stakeholders. You have to make sure that they're all in line. You have to make sure that they're all on plan. What you do, you work on these different projects. You make sure that if there is an issue, it gets solved. You make sure that they are on plan. You make sure and keep everyone accountable. What you do in customer success, you do a very similar thing. You work with different clients. You have a portfolio of clients. What you do in this portfolio, you make sure that the clients reach their goals and their objectives with the tool. So you build projects or success plans with each customer and make sure that they reach them, and you hold them accountable. Very similar. And let me give you a third example. Let's imagine you're a management consultant at the moment, and you work with your clients and want to give them some insights. What you do very fancy presentations, very on point, very concise. In customer success, you also have to portray a vision, a plan and a strategy of how to reach this vision. You do very precise presentations. And for example, in a business review, you lay down all this relevant information and have a very clear guide and recommendations for the client. So again, transferable skills from your role in customer success and your role in consulting. So you see, there are many transferable skills that you already have and that you already portray in your current job that you can move into a career in tech. We had a look at your mindset and your skill set. What about the toolbox? The toolbox is something that you have to learn, but it is very similar like learning a different language. It's a specific language that is used in those jobs, specific language in tech for customer success, sales, and account management. It's like a language marketeers use or a language consultants use, but you can learn these languages. And also the toolbox. You can learn the tools, like how to conduct a business review, how to set up a success plan with your customers, how to do a risk mitigation plan. These are tools that you can learn and a language that you can learn. So you see, there are three things that are essential for a role and a career in tech. These are your right mindset, your right skill set, and your right toolbox. The mindset and the skill set are transferable. You can use them and bring them to this new context of a career in tech. For the toolbox, this is learnable. It's like learning a new language or learning a new toolbox. And with that, you're ready to go. Now I talked about the right mindset, the right skill set, the right toolbox. But you still may ask yourself, why do I need to do this? Why is a career in tech so great? And why should I start a career in tech? Well, because you get access to a tech career without being a techie. You get access to some of the most lucrative careers out there in the market at some very prestigious companies like Google, Microsoft, or some fancy startup. And you have everything that it takes already at your hand. You have the right mindset and the right skill set. You just need to adapt this to the tech world. And for the toolbox, you can learn that. It is way easier than learning programming languages. And it is also more fun because it feels, I already know so much about this. I just learn a bit more on the tool side and then I'm ready to go. You may ask, what are the benefits of getting into a career in tech? One reason is it's a growing field. It's a growing career. If we look back several years, then the role of customer success didn't even exist. No one knew what this was. But with the development of companies and business models more towards the subscription model and the software as a service model, these jobs emerged, and they are now more relevant than ever. If you look at some specific job platforms like LinkedIn, for example, these roles are always looked for. Companies are actively looking for these. And as we are here in Munich, I can tell you, especially for the EMEA market and in Germany, where you need German language skills as well for some of the companies, this is especially relevant. because there are not that many customer success managers in the market, but at the same time, the need is high. So if you want to gain an access to a career in tech as a customer success manager, a seller, or an account manager, for example, then this is the right time to get access to this career. And you get access to a career that is at the forefront of company operations. Revenue. Revenue is a key metric for any kind of company. If there is no revenue, if there are no clients, then a company won't be able to survive. So you have a better understanding and you learn the skills that are necessary to operate a company and how all these different departments interact. This will help you for your first job in tech, but it will also help you for any kind of further career that you plan in tech or in general in your career. A lot of customer success managers, sellers, and account managers at the C-suite of companies nowadays because they have all this ingrained knowledge about the company operations. And for you, these jobs normally come with a lot of benefits. You normally have quite a high salary compared to some other careers, and this can exponentially grow depending on the growth of the company itself. You normally have the possibility to either work in a hybrid model or remote model, meaning that you can work from wherever you want to work in the world. And this gives you a great flexibility. And if you, for example, worked in consultancy beforehand, you know that in consulting, working times can be quite hard. So sometimes you're working until 1 a.m. in the evening or in the morning, 11 p.m. in the evening, and this for basically the whole week. In customer success, sales, and account management, you normally don't do this. You have quite a normal working life. I wouldn't say 9 to 5, but it can be quite normal. And at the same time, you have this flexibility. You have a great international network. These people are normally very eager to share, very open, and it's just a great community of very amazing people working in these careers. And once you gain access to a job and a career in tech, you have so many possibilities. I talked about our focus of customer success with sales and account management. These roles are very similar. They have different skill sets. They have different, let's say, objectives. But in core, they're similar because they're all client-facing and they're all dealing with similar, let's say, toolboxes and similar language. So if you understand one, it's way more easier for you to make a switch to one of the other ones or even move into management. And so you don't need to have a whole new set of skills to join a different career, but you can try out different careers and for this, really build your skill set and build your career development. Isn't this exciting? I'm always so excited about all these opportunities that are there in these jobs once you gain access to a tech career. So I hope you feel it too. So you see, it's an exciting career and you don't need to be a techie or have any kind of fancy programming skills to get access to it. All you need is to have the right mindset and the right skill set. Those are transferable skills and the right toolbox. And this is something you can learn. What I will share with you now are the next episodes and what I will cover there so that you get access to a tech career and a very fulfilling career for the future. And not only this, you can sign up to my free Q&A session. I offer these sessions to dive deeper into the topic of the episodes that we cover here. So if you have any kind of questions or are lost, then please join in and ask all your questions so you feel more secure on how to land a job in tech. I will leave the sign-up link down in the description for you to follow and sign up for these sessions. But for now, I will share what we will cover in the next episodes. The first session is already happening. In the second episode, we'll cover more about these roles: customer success, sales, account management. What are these roles? What are the skill set of these roles? That's what we cover in that session. In the third session, we will go about how to find a job. What kind of strategy is necessary to find those jobs? And what kind of job or career you might want to focus on given your skill set that you discovered in the episode beforehand. In the fourth session, I go into details about your visibility on your LinkedIn profile. how to build a strong LinkedIn profile to be found, how to update your resume, find a job in tech. In session 5, I will cover how to get a job, how to find a job. It might sound similar to the episode before, but the difference is that here we actively look for jobs. So how to use referrals, how to use friends, how to use your network to actively and proactively apply for a job and find a job. In the next episode, we will look at the hiring process. How does the hiring process look like? What are the steps? I go into detail about the different steps and what they entail. Then we will look at the recruiter's interview, the very first interview that you have for any kind of these roles, be it customer success, sales, or account management, or another client-facing role. What are the questions that are asked? What are the things you should know? And what are the things you should be prepared for? After that, we're talking about the hiring manager's interview. This is the key person that is looking for someone for their team. What questions do they ask? What is important to them? That's what we cover in that session. In the 9th episode, we'll talk about the panel interview. That's the key interview to land a job in tech, in customer success, sales, or account management. It's an interview with several people, and there will be a task for you to solve, normally role play. I will go deeper into what kind of role plays these are and how you can tackle them best. And in the last episode, well, hopefully you already reached this stage and you were successful in all of the interviews. Then there comes the contract negotiation or the benefits, signing the contract. I will give you insights into how to manage those. And there will also be a bit of a bonus insight of how to manage and deal with the pre-onboarding phase until your first day of the job. Pooh. There was so much, right? It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but I will really work on giving you this kind of information in little pieces so you really know where to focus on. And I assure you, there will be a lot of knowledge, insights, and tips and tricks that are so helpful for you to land a job in tech and land a job in customer success, sales, and account management. So, well, how do you get access to all this knowledge? In a first step, just listen in, watch the videos. I will release them over the next couple of weeks, and then you can listen in and have all the knowledge and the tools that I share with you there. You don't want to wait until the next video is released or want to check in all the time, then you can also sign up and become a member of the F. Falke community. I will leave the link below and happy for you to sign up, and then I will inform you when the next episodes go live. And thirdly, you can also participate in the Q&A sessions that I shared earlier with you already as well. So you'll find the link down in the description as well. So sign up to those and we can dive deeper into the knowledge and the topics that I share here. So I'm so excited that you joined this season of How to Land a Job in Tech and the first episode. And I'm excited for you to take this journey and find and land a job in tech.